reading Click Clack Moo, Cows That Type by Doreen Cronin, pictures by Betsy Lewin. I wonder what they're going to be typing. Click Clack Moo, Cows That Type. Farmer Brown has a problem. His cows like to type. All day long he hears click clack moo, click clack moo, clickety clack moo. He does not look happy. At first he couldn't believe his ears. Cows that type? Impossible. Click clack moo, click clack moo, clickety clack moo. Then he couldn't believe his eyes. Dear Farmer Brown, the barn is very cold at night. We'd like some electric blankets. Sincerely, the cows. They wrote him a note. It was bad enough the cows had found the old typewriter in the barn. Now they wanted electric blankets? No way, said Farmer Brown. No electric blankets. So the cows went on strike. They left a note on the barn door. Sorry, we're closed. No milk today. The cows went on strike, which means they're not going to work. Not until they get what they need to be comfortable. No milk today, cried Farmer Brown. In the background, he heard them cows busy at work. Click clack, moo, click clack, moo, clickety clack, moo. The next day he got another note. Dear Farmer Brown, the hens are cold too. They'd like electric blankets. Sincerely, the cows. If the cows went on strike by not giving milk until they got electric blankets, what do you think the hens will go on strike and not give Farmer Brown? The cows were growing impatient with the farmer. They left a new note on the door. Closed. No milk, no eggs. No eggs, cried Farmer Brown. In the background, he heard them. Click clack, moo, click clack, moo, clickety clack, moo. Cows that type? Hens on strike? Who ever heard of such a thing? How can I run a farm with no milk and no eggs? Farmer Brown was furious. Farmer Brown got out his own typewriter. Dear cows and hens, there will be no electric blankets. You are cows and hens. I demand milk and eggs. Sincerely, Farmer Brown. Now, if you were a cow or a hen and you were freezing cold at night, and the farmer who takes care of you wouldn't give you an electric blanket, would you give in? Would you give milk and eggs? What would you do? Duck was a neutral party, so he brought the ultimatum to the cows. This sentence has a lot of big words. Duck is neutral. Neutral means he's not on either side. And the ultimatum is the final message that, like, if you don't do what I say, bad things will happen. The cows held an emergency meeting. All the animals gathered around the barn to snoop, but none of them could understand moo. All night long, Farmer Brown waited for an answer. Duck knocked on the door early the next morning. He handed Farmer Brown a note. Dear Farmer Brown, we will exchange our typewriter for electric blankets. Leave them outside the barn door, and we will send Duck over with the typewriter. Sincerely, the cows. So the cows are trying to make a deal. They don't want to keep writing notes and not giving up their milk. It's probably uncomfortable to have all that milk inside of them. They don't even really want to write notes anymore. They just want to be warm. So they're willing to exchange, to swap the typewriter for the blankets. Farmer Brown decided this was a good deal. He left the blankets next to the barn door and waited for Duck to come with the typewriter. And now they all have their little electric blankets, the cows and the hens, and they're sleeping nice and warm. The next morning, he got a note. Dear Farmer Brown, the pond is quite boring. We'd like a diving board. Sincerely, the ducks. Click clack, quack. Click clack, quack. Clickety clack, quack. Now, if you were Farmer Brown, would you want to go through all of this again? Or do you think you'd try to make the ducks feel good too and maybe give them something to make them not feel so bored? What would you do? Let's see what Farmer Brown does. Oh! It's a duck.